Hey y'all, this is Amazon Jude coming to you from Wyoming in my little woman cave. And I wanted to tell you today that we had two huge victories. Today's date, 11/28/17. In fact, it's my husband's and I's 20th anniversary. Both of us, or he remembered, I forgot. I went out shopping and diddling around and doing things. And he called me up and he goes, today's our anniversary. And I was like, oh, are you kidding? So he's going to take me to dinner over the weekend for it. But today was just absolutely beautiful. First thing I wanted to bring up, Mick Mulvaney is in charge of CFPB. Okay, that was Elizabeth Warren's little brainchild created back in 2010. And I have a feeling that there was a lot of money in that being funneled to various places through that organization by basically extortion of banks and things like that. That's yet to come out, but Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, took a great beating on that one today. The judge sided with our president, and that's the end of that story. So she and Miss English, that the guy that quit and left English in charge, and English had filed a lawsuit Sunday night. Well, the judge wanted to hear it pretty quick, so as soon as the papers were filed and it went to the judge, it's over, baby. The agency that you thought you were going to run that Obama didn't give you, Pocahontas, is not going to be able to abuse and have no oversight anymore. Tremendous victory. Victory. Also, we had another huge victory, and that was in the budget committee, and it wasn't as bad as I thought. But if you get time, watch the video, because all 10 of the most corrupt Democrats in the Democrat Party spoke against tax reform, citing really, really stupid stuff. Healthcare. The fact that these guys live in states where they didn't stop their local and state governments from overtaxing them on property and everything else. Now that's supposed to be our fault because they didn't do their civic duty. Why should we give them tax breaks? They didn't do their civic duty. They didn't stop their local thugs in office. They just let it ride because they could deduct all that. They thought, who cares? So now I guess we're supposed to be on the hook because they didn't pay attention and they let their state income tax go out of rates, 40%? Look, property rates go out of percent. I live in a state where we don't have a federal income tax, and every time they try to bring that up and make us have one, we raise hell, because we're not going for it, because it just gives them a way to keep taxing you and taxing you and taxing you and taxing you, and we're not going to have it in our state. But we're not going to support these Massachusetts and California and all these big Democrat dummy states that let their thugs rob them blind. Not my monkey, not my circus. Another thing that was kind of upsetting to me today. Well, one thing that was upsetting to me. I'm all good for transparency in open meetings laws, the Brown Law, where meetings are conducted a certain way. And today, during the budget committee, it was 19 minutes of interruption by morons who probably haven't paid taxes in their entire lives. And they're screaming, no on the bill, It's going to kill us. What does that even mean? You know, no on tax reform that's going to help out 305 million Americans. And these guys are in there whining because, what? I had no clue what they were whining about. Tax reform has nothing to do with the healthcare stuff yet. You know, McCain made sure that healthcare reform wasn't going to happen. And he was proud of it. Walk into the Senate room, walk over there just as graceful as you please and put the thumbs down on helping America take back their healthcare system. What an asshole. But 19 minutes these guys went on. Don't kill us, kill the bill. They don't even know what they're talking about. Bernie Sanders was a disappointment. He was just, I can't believe the kids follow him. If they sat and actually watched that man speak on any Senate floor or any committee, they would have to know he's a moron. Along with Kamala Harris, she was like a parrot. All she did was restate what the other 9 senators on the Democrat side had said. She has not a thought in her own head. Same with like McCaskill. You know, the Democrats are imploding, and they should. 40 years of corruption in Washington. And that's why they're freaking out so much right now, is because Trump is draining the swamp. And they know eventually their shit's going to be exposed. Another one I thought was pretty funny. McCain rolls into meetings today. Now he's in a wheelchair with the boot on his left foot, like it was in his daughter's wedding. But up until then, it was on his right foot. He was threatening to not go with the bill. And then we can go down to what the hell is Obama doing riding around the world meeting with world leaders? I hope these guys tell him to go pound sand up his pimp ass. And he's no longer in charge. The ass-kissing apology tour is over. And we have a new president. And like he said, Obama said this himself, we can only have one president at a time. So step off, pimp boy. I wanted to give you some heads up on some of the Democrat Party's, what do you want to call them, golden boys. One of them is Senator Sherrod Brown of Ohio. He thinks he wants to be president. The man can't put 2 shoelaces together and sound intelligent. So that's kind of a waste. But if you guys want to back up idiots, and I mean, we'll be sure to drag the dirt out on these guys, because there's plenty of skeletons to go around in that Democrat Party. You got perverts and sex addicts and, you know, backroom deals of paying off people that were harassed by these guys, walking around in underwear. You know, in the women, you know, I got a new name for the women in Congress. I call them spiders. Especially the Democrat Party. A swamp has spiders too. And that's what their job is to spin the webs and spin the lies so that they can keep moving forward with their power grab of our United States. Kamala Harris is one. Senator Warren's one. McCaskill's one. Sheila Jackson Brown is one. God, I think there's 15 of them on the Democrat side. Every last one of the women in the Democrat Party are spiders. They will lie, cheat, steal, conceal, and whatever it takes to, Stubbenau too. There's another one, Michigan. Her state is turned into a Muslim free-for-all. And she's a disgrace to Congress. I grew up in Michigan, and I'll tell you what, I would have been one of those people to go to one of her rallies and call the bitch out. Al Franken, no apology there. It was pure pity party. He won't step down. He doesn't have the balls to step down and be a man. He's been a fucking wimp too long. He's another golden boy. Uh, seems Ryan from CNN was a little quiet yesterday at the briefing. She just sat there like old Jabba the Hutt and didn't say much. And I guess that humble pie is a little harder to eat than a chocolate pecan pie. Uh, Senator Gillibrand, is that her name? Oh, Gabby Gifford, yeah, the one that was shot in the head. You know, that bullet didn't, uh, she didn't recover because her brain is more fucked up than my neighbor who's cerebral palsy. And then you got old Jackie Spear out of California. There's another prize. Her and Adam Schiff lied to Roger Stone in his hearing and said that DNC had turned over their servers to the FBI when we know Comey and Jay Johnson had testified that they hadn't had the DNC server in their possession at all, that it was sent out to CloudStrike and for forensics on it. I don't know who to believe. Them guys lie so much. And you got Debbie Wasserman Schultz saying she was never contacted at all about hacking on the DNC server. So who's to know? Democrats are falling apart and they look stupid because they think American people aren't paying attention anymore. And the problem with that is, with our new internet and people being involved in politics like we are for our President Trump, they can no longer cover up their lies because there's always evidence, either video or news stories out there now that prove that they're lying. The wall's coming along. The prototypes are done. I think you ought to take a look at that. I like the one that has the razor wire at the top and goes 15 feet deep into the ground, you know, with pylons that go about 12 inches apart. And sounds good to me. I say build the wall. Well, Nancy and Pelosi and Chuck Schumer backed out on meeting with the president today. I think they knew that President Trump isn't going to buy into their DACA bullshit and immigration bullshit either. They're the ones that are supposed to create the law, not our president. And if they can't do their job, which they haven't done in, 30 years? Why would they start doing their job now? They keep trying to pass the buck back and forth. And let's not forget, seems Trey Gowdy got, I don't know if this is true or not, but the president gave him some extra security clearance. So I think he's going to be digging into some stuff. And I pray to God he digs hard enough and finds a lot of the stuff he'd been looking for and wanting for years. I have a feeling he will. So let's move on. Mueller's investigation. I don't know where this guy's at. He's off in the weeds. Everything he's doing right now can be done by the IRS. Because it all has to do with money and taxes and that kind of stuff. So he's pretty irrelevant anymore. I am a little disappointed with our Federal Motor Carriers Association head. They met with American Trucking Association and all these other guys back in October. I haven't heard anything on that. And now we're all stuck with these ELD, electronic log mandates. And just today I went to look up what it's going to cost me to put these damn things in my trucks. And it's a $1,000 bill that, I could probably use for Christmas rather than being micromanaged by the government. I'm sure most truckers feel the same way as I do right now. I don't want to punch a time clock on my dashboard. I don't need to be told when to sleep, eat, take a shit. And like I said before, the report that they did on this back in 2014. Excuse me, I'll be right back. I got to answer. It's probably hubby.